Each of the 5 elements has forces or qualities, and these are called the Gunas, which are the forces of nature. All matter is made up of different combinations of these elements, and it is the Gunas which give matter their individual characteristics and provide diversification in nature. Every cell in the body has its own characteristics determined by the Gunas or qualities of the elements which make up the cell. It is through the transformation of the Gunas that evolution occurs. So now we will look at each of the elements and their qualities. Ether is the most pervasive element. Atoms are mostly space. Ether is difficult to describe because it is nothing, but nevertheless it has qualities of lightness, softness, subtleness and smoothness. The word ethereal must come from this word ether, as it does not have a material nature. In the Hindu tradition of puja, ether is represented by flowers, and even in the West we use flowers to adorn churches for the same reason. Each of the elements has a sensory quality. Ether has the sensory quality of sound, where ears are the instruments. Air contains ether, so it has the qualities of ether plus the qualities of air, which are cold, dry, rough and mobile. Air has the sensory quality of touch, with the skin as the instrument of touch, so it can be heard and felt. Air is the force of propulsion. A gentle breeze is very refreshing, but when the wind is blowing a gale, it is a force to contend with. The force of air is in the body also. Under normal conditions, air is not a problem. But if there is a build-up of air in the colon, for instance, then it can be very painful. Air is represented in puja by incense. Fire has all the qualities of ether and air, but is also hot, sharp and slightly oily, and has the sensory quality of sight, using the eyes as its instruments. Fire can be heard, felt and seen. Fire is the force of transformation in the body. It is the energy which converts food into nutrition. When fire is under control, it is very pleasant, but when out of control, it can be devastating. Water can be used to put out a fire, but if the fire is from an oily substance, the water cannot be used because water has an oily nature. Fire is represented in puja by a ghee lamp. Water contains the qualities of ether, air, fire, and is also heavy, oily and wet. Water is the force of cohesion, as in 2 wet pieces of paper which stick together. It can be heard, felt, seen and tasted, and has the sensory quality of taste, with the tongue as its instrument. Water is liquid, and a sweet liquid like milk is represented in puja. Water is very heavy, and when there is a force affecting it, such as gravity or in the tides, the power of water is immense. If water is out of balance in the body, severe problems are created. Earth has all the elements and is also hard, stable and dense. It is the force of stability in matter. It can be heard, felt, seen, tasted and smelt, and has the sensory quality of smell, with the nose as the instrument. Earth matter can vary in its degree of heaviness depending on the amount of air or water which it contains. Oil or sandalwood paste is given in puja to represent the earth element. We have just seen that each of the elements has qualities or gunas. In Ayurveda, there are 20 gunas recognized, or 10 pairs, each guna having an opposite guna. This is an important concept to understand in Ayurveda, even though it seems very simple. The food we eat contains the 5 elements. The body has the same elements. So if there is too much heaviness, for instance, then to correct the heaviness, light food is recommended, the opposite guna. This is how Ayurveda works with food, herbal remedies and treatments. This slide shows an example of opposite gunas, which contain all of the 5 elements. Therefore, all of the qualities are represented in heaviness and lightness.